more expensive than Whole Foods because I didn't have my car for the first 3 months I lived in Boston. Yeah, and we didn't have the Hannaford prices, so it was just Whole Foods or just this bespoke place. And I finally eventually went to a place that wasn't that, and I was like, oh yeah. Main Hannaford prices. This is better. This is good.
Yeah, totally.
Scam.
Oh, he's quiet again, folks.
God damn it.
It's okay. I think we can just turn you up on our ends.
Turn me up.
Unless you're maxed out. Yeah, you're at 130 for me.
That's fine.
Yeah. Turn Seth up, turn my volume up a little bit, and then turn everyone else down. That's how we do it.
Haley, what homework are you talking about?
Just homework in general. Where are you at?
I don't know. Hold on.
Okay.
Please hold.
Good talk.
Good talk.
I just haven't done any homework for a week.
That's fine. What is my God?
I don't know if anyone else likes paint chips, but someone at Lowe's a year ago gave us an entire book, a manufacturer's book of paint chips, and we just
Yo.
Do you mean?
Let me just fan myself real quick.
Do you mean
with all my paint chips
that was due today or yesterday, or the homework that's due the 25th?
Definitely not the 25th.
Okay, then I have not done the 25th yet. The stuff that was due yesterday, I did.
Wow, look at you go.
I did that one while I was up north because I was bored.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
When you're that bored, you do homework.
So I still have yet to do the news reports. Both of them.
Hell yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's great for you. I wrote mine in about 2 hours. It was terrible.
Per one?
Or
both?
No, I wrote the first one, I think the week it was due.
No, you didn't. We talked about this. I think you did it the week after.
I definitely did it the week after, and I definitely did the second one the week after. The second one I did yesterday.
I see. Yeah, okay.
I believe.
He doesn't take them off, so it leads me to think that it's okay.
I'm gonna just assume that it's okay.
Yeah. He doesn't seem very
bothered.
In his syllabus, he listed the importance of things in his life, and teaching was number 3.
Yeah.
It was family, my life and shit that I like to do. Teaching. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, solid. So
hey, man.
Which is great for the student.
Which is perfect for a working full-time taking your master's student. Mm-hmm. That works really. That's a great matchup.
Yep. Yeah. 100%.
The hardo teachers that are in you'll have some, Seth, that are you can't pass shit in late at all.
Because the school was being a butt. Apparently UNE is notorious, at least in the grad programs, for being extremely bad with accommodations. And it's a medical school, and they do a bunch of medical stuff, and I was that's stupid, and also so reflective of exactly what I experienced. So I felt really validated about that. I was just thinking about needing to turn things in late for stuff, because I would be flaring or whatever, and all the teachers were
sure.
Meh. Yeah, exactly that. And they typed it somehow, and yeah.
This just is bad.
Fake news. Yeah, basically the reasoning was you're at home, so that's all of the accommodations you need. And I was
Doesn't fix autism.
Doesn't it though? But doesn't it though?
I mean, but
because we don't understand it, what more can we actually do for you?
Right.
yeah.
Is basically the attitude.
Yeah.
You're fine because I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
And I don't want to try to understand.
We can't see it, so it doesn't exist.
Right. Just
It's
exactly.
it's Peekaboo
Go like
rules.
this. You're not
Yeah.
actually there. And neither am I. You can't see me right now.
Oh shit.
here's the thing.
It's like how toddlers are.
Just be
Yeah.
there.
None.
A lot of like, damn, that's crazy. Anyways,
Yeah,
Weird.
literally.
love that from the institution where you're paying them thousands of dollars.
Thousands and thousands.
Love that for me. Love that so much. Love that for people.
Server
Especially
Games
where
is
I was like-
live. I just got the notification.
Ayo.
Yeah. The most ironic part was that like I was in a social work program also. So you would think
That
like that it would be different, but anyway.
those Baldur's Gate. There we go. Those are wilds. Our characters.
Right?
Yeah.
I know I changed my profile picture.
Oh, you made those in Baldur's Gate?
It did.
Bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's sick.
And they look dope because PC with mods. So
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of
That's
Baldur's Gate,
why-
bro,
Hmm.
I have advanced.
Oh,
I am
where are you at now?
I'm in the Underdark.
Okay.
Oh,
I stumbled upon it while in that goblin castle thing.
Yeah, you went down the secret entrance in the back.
Yeah, and I killed everyone in that castle.
Mhm.
Like everybody.
No.
Like there's nothing left.
Yep.
I was playing that last night until about 3 a.m, and I didn't stream it, so I'm very upset because now I'm like, fuck.
Hey man, honestly, the those combats are a bit of a slog
It was
to-
long.
to go through.
It was
Yeah.
long.
It takes a long fucking time. I think it took me probably 2 sessions of like a solid like sit down and be like, I'm gonna play for like 3.5 hours.
Yup.
Damn.
To like finish one dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's effectively a
Yeah.
dungeon with like multiple encounters
Well, you
every
know
time
what-
you go into a different room.
Daniel, you know what really helped me out is when I reached level 5 and Will learned Fireball.
Hell yeah.
And that cleared out about 15 enemies in one shot. So that was great.
Yeah, it was really fun to play through it and just see the high level
Oh yeah.
stuff and be like, holy shit, some of these high level spells when you upcast them,
Mm-hmm.
fucking bonkers.
Like now.
Yeah, where it's just like it adds, and you like look at the combat log and all of the buffs, where you're just like, I've got plus 19 to hit. I just fucking I can't miss.
I can't miss.
I can't miss. It's incredible, except for those nat ones.
I'm just zooming in on the characters you just made, and they look so fucking cool.
Thank you. It was very fun to go with sort of my head canon, but I realized when they're small like this, although each of you, Ada, Azalea, and Zephyros all have different faces, at a distance they do all look sort of similar. But it was also very funny to put you all together and be like, you all look so strange. It's like the classic D&D thing where it's like, for just like reference in the game, it's just kind of like, yeah, everyone is like different and stuff, but then you're like, there's no human in the group, no, just like straight up normal.
Just
Everyone
three
is an
white-haired
outlier.
elves.
Yeah, straight up, it's just like, and I think Grog's hair is white if he grew it out.
For fuck's sake.
For like Goliaths. So you just got like a bunch of people that just look old. And
love it.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, honestly, Seth, you're like straight up Drax.
That is pretty.
Totally.
That is like Grog definitely has the Drax energy. It was very funny being like, oh yeah, they do also have kind of like everyone is like gray skin, except for two of you.
Yep. I'm gonna change my profile picture.
How would we? Is the best way to change a profile picture just take like a screen cap of the thing you uploaded?
What I did.
Yeah, if you pull the high-res version,
Yeah, I opened
there's
it in a
only
different
it's just going to
tab.
be like it's just going to be a small icon.
Yeah.
You can for sure like zoom it in. So yeah, then everyone gets some dope.
Oh yeah, that's absolutely Drax.
Pics.
Did you not know what Drax was?
I didn't in on Daniel's picture earlier, so yeah, that looks very cool. Now I'm zooming in, and that's
and a fun little peek behind the screen. Your baddies, the folks in the enemies tab also have Baldur's Gate 3 pics to be revealed once you meet them. Yeah,
I was wondering.
Yeah.
Is that Quasimodo? Who is that? Quasildram?
That is the dragon.
Oh, yep, right.
Azildrath. Yeah. Bringer of Night, Dragon of the Void, who currently is split into 3 parts. But now
who is Lady Kindleaf?
Lady Kindleaf is the one of the NPCs that sent you a message in the Castle Elm Hollow. She reached out to you guys and was basically the first one to offer just a sort of flat alliance.
You know what kind of message she sent us?
As sort of just like olive branch, being like, I've like, so long as you are good and just, you can consider me an ally in these lands. And was the one that told you in the message that she's basically like, hey, just so you know, your town was attacked 6 months ago by demons from the rifts.
Sick.
In the wastes. So yeah, we do now have a map of the region, which is exciting. So you can actually tell each of these hexes. I didn't put a scale on there, of course, after putting the whole thing, but each hex that's in there that you can see is 6 miles. And just to go over the stuff that's on there, you've got Turin, which is obviously House Turin, rocks, noble house. Your castle is there. Sort of in the next hex is Elm Hollow, with the little tower icon is the tower where we have Zephyrus's stronghold is there. The rest of you are in the castle sort of in the next hex. So they're like next to each other, but it's mostly just so that like space on the map doesn't get like super cluttered. Kindleaf is Lady Kindleaf's castle. To the west, to the north, you have the Rockbiter clan, and are to the edge of the map in Illifria, because currently we're in Ushane, and that yellow is all Illifria. You have Malice, which is Lord Draven Malice, who sent you a very short message attached to, or rather, made into an arrow that he shot a bird out of the sky, and the arrow that killed the bird turned into a scroll, which you read, where he said, "To the killers of Camilla Malas, you have no idea what is coming."
Boy.
Whereas everyone else was rather cordial in their conversations with you guys. But the rest of the spots, there are some large towns and small towns that are in the region, not as important as sort of Elm Hollow and the Red Dashes or the Imperial Highway that I think I mentioned last time. So it's like a wide road, the big overland trade route. A lot of that stuff goes through there. Roads are like easier ways to get overland through places. And the domain, which is spelled like demence, but the domain is the area around your strongholds, which for the sake of simplicity, I'm just saying it's the area around centered on the castle, even though the tower for Zephyrus is like in the next hex over. We're saying all of your domain effects happen in the bordered region with the blue, or it looks sort of blue in this, but in the sort of like marching dots around. So you have at this point should be 18 miles in each direction at this first level. And each of you have certain effects that happen noted in the Castle Elm Hollow thing, which are your various domain effects. However, those of you that complete your strongholds as part of the progression with them, although a lot of you have special things that you can do with them, different training, spell research, casting high-level spells if you're a druid, those things will take into effect when you defend your stronghold. So for right now, you have the effect of your domains, but you don't currently have access to your full repertoire of what you have. However, those of you that have done the necessary repairs to finish your space, you do have the option, if you wish, to immediately start upgrading it to the next tier. I believe it was like 2 months past that we had the Grog's Keep was upgraded, and in the same month, Rock's Tower also finished construction. So you can, if you wish, there's like the chart in each of your it's the pinned comment up top about yeah, the amount to upgrade in each of your things. It's like cost to upgrade, time to upgrade, and you have your total amount of gold is also in the sort of plain text chart. So you have about 20,000 gold left after all the stuff that you've done so far.
Throw a party.
Yeah. So we have done sort of these time jumps where I went through and did those sort of narrations of the things that happened over the course of the last couple months, where it's just been sort of your downtime overseeing the construction of your strongholds and whatever sort of like correspondence and things that you wanted your character to do in the downtime. We also last time rolled for the special allies who arrived, and we did retcon one thing that happened, which was for Rock, that the flesh golem that arrived no longer arrived. Instead, there was a cyclops that approached, sort of wearing pretty much just a loincloth, but with like a tree uprooted with a big kind of dirty white flag that approached the walls. So we'll say that that is actually something that you are all there for. And we'll actually sort of like jump into that as sort of our first thing, where Rock's soldiers that he has been leading and Grog's soldiers that he has been commanding are now sort of like up on the walls. You guys follow them up there. It's a chilly day near the end of the year. Winter is coming on. Probably like snow, maybe a little bit of a dusting. But you're up on the ramparts of your castle, and you just see this like 20-foot tall Cyclops coming from the direction sort of like of the northeast, like coming from the direction of the Dire Lands with this thing. The archers on the ramparts with you like have arrows knocked and are kind of like waiting, but this ogre just slowly kind of like walks forward towards you and kind of shouts like within bow distance, but it's like staying far enough back. But kind of like in this deep voice that is very sort of like slurring and grating, says, Liege Rock, Mage, Tower, you all in the castle. Me, Yak, Cyclops of Direland, wish to speak with King of Castle.
Okay. Grog, please come with me.
Okay.
Awesome. So your soldiers like stand down. The Cyclops approaches and does it like stays outside of the gates, but you guys go out. You have Rock and Grog sort of like at the front. You see the Cyclops seeing Grog like kneels down and puts like a hand over his heart, like in a salute, and speaks to Grog in Giant and says, Giantkin, welcome to Southlands. You are far from home.
My God. Southlands are familiar to me. Thank you, Giantkin. Welcome you to our abode. And this is my friend, Rock.
It is an honor to be here. He switches back to common, which is a little bit more rough than giant, but he says, and he kind of like points, which you can see now that he's like closer, and the big like tree that he has is actually inscribed with a bunch of runes, which are kind of like roughly carved in. And he says, me, Yak, mage of Cyclops clan of Direlands, felt magic of your tower. And he like points at you, Rock, and sort of points up at the tower and says, magic you have strange like the wastes, but good and not bad, like magic of the wastes. And you
free.
He nods, says, yes, gluten free. Like on the nose.
On the nose.
It's an honor to have you here. I'm hopeful that there's wild magic here, and hopefully stronger here as well as we remain.
Yeah. he nods and speaks, kind of like gets a dour look on his face and says, Giantkin in Dire Lands, fighting demons that come through. Your magic different than ours, and I feel it. And if you cross to Dire Lands and need help carve runes like these, and he like points at his staff, in the stone, and we will find them. You know?
I know.
Yes.
Very good. I return home, but be well, Mage, Rock, and Giantkin. And he just
Travel
kind of like
safely.
he nods, and gets up and departs. So you now have a basically a Cyclops or a number of Cyclops that will come to your aid if you progress into the Dire Lands.
Oh yeah.
And write some runes that will sort of call them to you. So yeah, the Dire Lands, or reference for you guys, are sort of the no man's lands that have always existed on the eastern side of the spine, and are even more less habitated than they have been in the past, because the rifts that open up in the wastes from the Calamity War 25 years ago, demons that come across, sort of, if they don't go into Illafria or one of the other, civilized nations and get destroyed, you just sort of crawl through and then either die on the mountains from exposure, or make their way across into the other lands, which is rare. Sort of the spine creates a pretty natural barrier. But your castle is obviously sort of in the path of the ones that would cross in that little narrow gap, that would bring them south of the spine, and crossing through the Dire Lands. But you would know that there are some sort of like holdouts. There's probably like one tribe of Wood Elves that have like an enclave somewhere in there. They're sort of like a transient tribe, less like the Alandor Woods, which is like massive and sprawling. But other than that, it's sort of a no man's land, very like the strong survive and the weak perish.
Awesome.
A land of, yeah, sort of like the like sort of wild wild west energy there. Yeah, not it's basically, it's not uninhabited, but it is pretty much lawless there.
Lawless.
Yeah.
Big enough for the two of us.
Yeah. So you have this new special ally. That was the role that Rock did on their table in the past. So that was sort of the one little retcon in this time. This session is more or less the last that we'll do for a while you're at your strongholds. So if there is anything that you guys wanted to do, sort of in this time, sort of like end of the session, I will sort of be giving you the kickoff to the next adventure. So this is sort of like anything that you guys wanted to do in this time. It is sort of open season. Otherwise, it's a pretty lax one, because next session will be the one where we'll have the whole party together to be headed further along. One sec.
Y'all have
Can
any?
can I level up my thingy? Yeah.
Also, are we at full health?
Yeah, so this is downtime. So this is you
Awesome.
guys. You're just like at the castle for
5%.
a couple months. So like
Lovely.
anything that you guys want to discuss, feel free. I have to take care of some stuff.
Sure.
So I will be.
Sick.
I'll be right back.
Awesome.
And
gang.
if you so wish, also fill in whoever with the personal stuff on your private channels if you want to give any updates.
Yeah.
Cool.
I want to give. Oh my.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Yes, little rock.
I was gonna ask Daniel too while he's here, but I figured that y'all might know too. I know that part of Strongholds and Followers is about like, at least for like Sorcerer Sanctum, is like you can give your troops like magic to use, but I don't know if that means that like I need to have troops like, and then it only counts for like the ones that are mine, or if that counts for like Grog's, and then they can use both like your stuff and my stuff. Like, does it count for the?
True.
You know what I mean?
I don't know. I actually thought of that too. Like, we have the same resources. I would assume we're in the same castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty. If you need my help or my troops, I will lend them to you.
Right. Okay. Because it would make
like,
sense
the background, you know.
for
what I mean?
like. Right. Yeah. Because I would rather like, I don't know, if we can have a bunch of troops that are like they got all the powers, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we just kind of let them be autonomous and. All right, you're gonna do this.
Yeah.
I don't really have anything like pressing that I like have to do.
Yeah, I'm struggling to think of what I want to do besides just like leveling up the castle, I guess, or my area. I don't.
Because we've cleared it out. Like, there's nothing like bad.
Right. I know. I kind of wish there was something to fight.
I mean, we can fight each other.
Oh,
we could spar.
Spar
I
to level up.
I think what we were saying before. I think the general layout of Winterfell is a good like thinking of what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Sent it in the chat, but like I feel like that makes sense. And then Ali, for your area, it has like a higher up area, or it's a ship, or what is it?
It's like I'm like away from the building, so I think on the map it's like that 6 mile hex. It's like 6 miles down the road.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I got confused if Daniel was saying that it's actually 6 miles down the road.
Right.
Or if it's just like spaced out so it's more visible, but you're actually like maybe only like a mile, or like we can see you and you're right there.
Oh, maybe that's what he meant.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell, so like could
Where
be
did
either
you
way.
put the picture you were just talking about, Haley?
In the general chat.
Okay. There's so many text channels. I'm like, where is anything?
What do I need to read?
What is okay?
Yeah, that makes sense. So like, yeah, my tavern is basically like it's a rogue's tavern. It's like a tower, but the tower is more like a schematic concept, I think, versus like it's a tavern. That the building is a tavern by like a like
You're not within the castle?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think because I picked a rogue's tavern.
Yeah. Because you're
like,
a swashbuckler.
It doesn't make sense that there would be a tavern inside the castle.
Who says we can't?
Can we get drunk
We just
this
have a house
episode?
bar.
This is our world. We create it.
Right. Yeah. Hey, chat, you want to see us get drunk at the tavern?
Okay, let me just go through what these fucking Next to channels mean so D&D general chat. Okay, we know what that is. D&D World Anvil. What is that?
Drinking is
What is
bad
that?
for you, Chuck.
World Anvil was like the wiki
Yes.
for Solandrin.
It's the Wikipedia
Okay.
page that we have.
Okay. And then Chronicle of the Cluehbridge Six is
Daniel, I think
These are
I
like
think we're gonna get
updates.
drunk this episode. Heard.
Oh, okay.
Allie's idea, not mine. Allie's
no.
all about
Stop.
it. She literally
So
was
Chronicle of the Cluehbridge Six is basically the big sort of like canon recap
Running
stuff.
show. Okay. Yep. And then
Yep.
links and resources is links. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
And then the castle is Castle Matters.
Correct.
I
And
must attend to my
then-
castle matters.
So to clarify, Castle Elm Hollow, that's the place that last session we like
cleared out.
out. We like kind of it was our demo day. For the
It
castle.
was. It was. It
Yeah.
was flip that castle.
Yeah. Bus driver, move that bus.
Move that
Move.
wagon.
Yeah.
That skyship.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, a trip to Disney World. Wow.
Yeah.
And then the like individual like Haley's Garden and
Garden?
Grog's whatever, like I
It's a
don't remember what they
grove.
all are right now, but
Yeah.
like
So each of
everybody
you
has their own little area within the castle that is their own stronghold.
Yeah, so each of you have a private channel. I am in all of them, but each of you have the one like Grog has Grog's Chapel, Azalea's Grove, Zephyrus' Tavern, Rock Sanctum. So each of those are a private channel where your followers or ambassadors or units are sort of like represented in there. So that's like just you and me for like giving information back and forth. If there's public stuff that like an NPC will address to all of you, that's like Castle Elm Hollow.
Yeah.
But like Zephyrus's ambassador goes to her tavern is not gonna like show up at the castle and introduce himself. It's like not interested in the castle, interested in this person.
Why am I in Ada's stronghold?
I'm also in Ada's stronghold.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. I should.
And then we also
yeah, because I hit Cluehbridge 6. So it should
also,
delete. There we go.
what was I just gonna say? There it goes.
We're gonna ask about the units.
Yes. So like my tavern is like not in the castle. It's
Mhm.
like down the road a piece.
Yeah.
The stone throw away.
Yeah. So if you have
Really?
units in a stronghold that aren't in the castle, they'll basically still be their units aren't represented as like individual people, but they're basically like you'll command them in larger battles. And if you have this basically a tower that you're constructing as your stronghold, there can definitely be a floor of it that's just like a barracks for the soldiers that show up at yours. But obviously, since you're like a rogue, you're not getting units of like mercenary soldiers that have sworn allegiance to like Grog's banner, and are more like there'll be people who are, like sky sailors or other kind of like roguish types who will just be like a bunch of specialists, pretty lightly armored. They don't need a full like barracks and a garrison and a training yard. They're like, we'll hang out and you can command us in battle and we will defend your stronghold. Yeah. And so that's what units are for. And we haven't used them yet, but we will eventually.
And
yeah.
So that would mean like
the in terms of like geography, like
Mhm.
if I want to just like pop over to the castle and be like, hey guys, what's going on? Like that, how long does that take me? Does that take me half a day to get there? Like how close am I?
So you're like, it's on the map. You're in two different hexes to represent like the town is here and the castle is here. but it's like maybe an hour walk. Like you could like by horse, you could get there in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a horse on a good trot and you can get there in no time. They're basically like if you're in Elm Hollow, you can now like see the castle now that it's been like fixed and stuff. Like you can see it over the trees. Like it's like right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That helps to.
So with units, so like I know that like one of the things that I can do is like that the units have like my units would have access to like different magic stuff. Is that specific to like units that are part of my stronghold, or is that like does that happen for like all of the units in our collective situation?
So units under your command will have special things that you can do with them in combat, depending on your class.
Okay.
So it's not specific to your stronghold, but it's like because you're a sorcerer, you'll be able to give them like battle magic that they can do. Versus like Grog as a paladin can have them like rally in a battle to like gain health basically instead of like having the unit broken by like being defeated. He can basically be like, no, the power of God and anime is on my side. My soldiers do not flee.
Okay.
I have the power
and are those
God and
like
anime
this?
on
Would
my
those
side.
be like the same people, or are those like different groups of people?
These are like the same units. Like whatever unit you have, they're just kind of it's a way to describe a bunch of NPCs rather than being like you have like John and Jim and Josh and like Eric and Tom, and these are all of the soldiers that are in your garrison. It's just like you have a unit of like infantry that are like regular medium. You have a unit of like elite infantry, whatever. You have regular cavalry, etc. Once we actually get into that, we'll do a very rules light version of the warfare system. Which will be
warfare.
Yeah, so it's a thing that is in a separate book, but we're not going to get super into the weeds with that. But it is a thing that will be how you use units, because they do have a purpose, and it's mostly for defending your stronghold / castle or taking them into battle against another person, like any kind of like big enemy that has their own stronghold somewhere on the map, and you want to take them out before they take you out. It's sort of the purpose of an army that you guys command.
So does anyone have anything like pressing that they want to do? Like
I feel like I have things I want to do in the downtime, but I also like over the past few days have done a lot of stuff in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So we can I can share about those things.
Yeah.
For sure, Rock. If you want to jump on that, because you spoke to a couple of folks.
I did, yeah. I tried to respond to everybody, but I don't know if I got to some of the newer stuff. I responded to Lady Ophelia Kindleaf, and just like established an alliance. Like, yeah, we is all good. And that, like, you know, we is all good. I posted all of my responses as like threads. So those are there, and I figured that like that might. I didn't know how we wanted to format that. That like I'm sure anyone can respond.
Threads, perfect use of threads.
Okay, sweet.
For that,
yeah. So those are in there, and like you know, just because I responded, like I don't just like even a lot of them are like will address me in particular, or like me and then like the officers as a crew, but I don't like. You know, I don't have to go first. Like, I just want to throw that out of like, yeah.
Yeah. This would also be a point where, like, if you wanted to if any of you wanted to take on a role in the castle, like if Zephyrus, you wanted to be like the spy master or something like that, and take on that role. Because right now we just have Rock as the the noble, like the head of the noble house, and so that's people are just like, okay, we're just informed that there's a new noble. We're introducing ourselves. Hello.
Cool. Okay.
And Grog
But like,
is
we
Grog
need
is
like
sort
a
of like,
treasurer, a vice president, that kind of stuff.
yeah, that kind of
Class
stuff. The
president.
big
Okay.
ones would be like there would probably be like a priest, and like a court mage, like a minstrel or something. You'd have like a marshal of your forces of the castle, and like sort of like think like small council energy of like you got like Master of Whisters, Master of Coin, head of the King's Guard, that kind of stuff is sort of like if any of you guys, it's basically this is sort of like you create a role for yourself within here, and that creates more opportunity for you to do stuff, and for me to go, oh, if you want to do like you're the spy master, or if you want to send a unit of soldiers to like spy on whoever, that is absolutely something you can do. And it's a similar thing with followers, if they are with you but not obviously Shadow is difficult to use, but you have Liana, who's a new follower. I think she is still Baneland, a Suntide in the Azalea's Grove, because I did not update that. But if you have followers that you want to send as sort of like envoys to do special tasks for you while you're off adventuring, that is something that they can do as well. Sort of the like, I don't have time to go be an ambassador to another place, but if you want to go do this, that would be great.
Want to like roll for stuff.
Yeah, so that's sort of like you say what you want to do, and we figure out the roles for it.
Cool. Do you mind if I finish the Discord stuff and then?
Yeah, no, go for it.
Sweet. Yeah. So established an allyship with Lady Kindleaf. So that's good. Responded to Chiefess Rubina Rockbiter.
Bites rocks.
Has offered to parlay if we wish. So that might be cool. Also, a few other things talked about rifts in the lower planes. Think that their runesmith could fix our teleportation circle for a price. So that's pretty cool.
Probably a big one.
And then lastly, Sir Weimar talked a bit about Lashana's Legion, and also like that there's common folk and of all types have heard about us and know where we are, kind of thing. But that we would have some protection from some people that he is connected with. And also just some warnings about like, hey, you have been attacked recently, so be careful about that. And then in my channel, I picked a noble house name that'll still be Turin, and then I created a crest that I can share a picture of. I used a little bit of AI stuff to help pull some things together, but then I'm like taking it into fix it. So this is but it'll be a good like little bit of sort of what's going on. And then also I picked a steward, but I don't know if we're gonna like do that for RP today or not. So
yeah. So that is sort of the stuff where you bringing the steward on is something that is sort of like in the wings. Like they'll be basically someone that you control when you're not at the base, and they'll be the one that's basically like handling stuff, And if things happen while you're away and you come back, that's sort of where they'll take a spotlight to be like, hey, interesting news. X, Y, and Z things happened. But for now, it's sort of like you've got a steward, you've got them up to speed. They've joined your retinue. They're another part of the castle staff.
Sweet.
But yeah, so awesome. So you've got a crest, which is super cool. You've talked to a lot of people, had some correspondence, learned some things about the world, the goings on, because the world is a living and breathing and moving space here. So there's still sort of things happening whilst you are adventuring and doing your own things. So with all of that, any of these NPCs that you wanted to parlay with or talk to first, that seemed to be something that a couple people mentioned.
I would like to do that with my person.
The ambassador?
Yeah, Jenna.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have also not updated her, but yeah, I did another update to that. Her name
cool
is it's a sick crest. Love that.
Where'd you post?
I
It's in the
believe
general chat.
Yeah, it's in the general chat. So right, yeah. So Yenna Flammenhaar is a fire genasi from Zandstreams who shows up at rocks, or excuse me, not rocks, at Zephyrus's tavern upon its completion. They're in sort of like noble attire, but dressed for travel. Is a fire genasi, so she has this sort of like reddish, gray, sort of like almost like cracked ember skin, and her hair is just flames. That produce like no heat, very little light, but it's just like bald head, sort of flames on the top, just sort of flickering. But yeah, so she does come and sort of is the one who's there because we did roll for a mage guard, I think, or a glassau person last time, and then we're just like, nope, he falls and breaks his neck. Another person steps off of the ship. Off of this ship, and it's this other ambassador from Zandstreams. So yeah, the ambassador is there. She, I believe the sort of flavor text of it was that she actually sneaks into your like workshop in the tower upon its completion and is just there when you like goes through the locked door. And she's like looking over your like notes and things that you've been putting together with sort of the spell research of your tower, and kind of like turns and looks at you, and you see this strange woman there, and she says, "Ah, Zephyrus, you must be the one who have ordered all of these shipments of rare spell components from my country."
I would have invited you in if you had only asked.
That is perfectly fine. I am happy to make my way through. You and I think, have some similar history. And she sort of like flashes like daggers in her hands, and then they just like disappear back into her sleeves. Snaps this like book of like ancient like scroll work and text, and sets it back down. Kind of like walking towards you, she says, "But I am impressed by what you and your companions have been able to do in the past. And if you wish, the soldiers that I have that are in Zandstreams are quite mobile and quite adept in combat. And if you wish, I could perhaps sweeten the deal of hiring any soldiers from my country to work for you and your companions."
I quite like the sound of that.
Very well. So it is at this point where you can roll a charisma check to improve your the attitude of Zanstrines through your ambassador. Sort of depending on what you roll, the DC will be different. Give me a little insight or history check, Zephyrus.
First couple rules of the game, baby.
Yep.
Woo!
Side note: these tater tots, hot. No
Hell
cinnamon
yeah.
rolls tonight. So sorry.
Yeah. I made the very, very small ones that were like very, very tiny, and I just ate 5 the other day.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no.
just ate my mom ate 3 throughout the day, and then I just was end of the night.
Yep.
Just ate 5.
Oh,
No one
One
cares.
after another.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. No shame, bro.
I rolled a 6.
A 6, and was it insight or history?
It was insight.
Insight. So you're kind of looking at her body language, and she has. You can tell, like, this woman has also done a lot of the same sort of background stuff. Like, this is another sort of like, although she says she's an ambassador from Zanstrines, but is like, there's something else going on, but you're not quite sure what her entire deal is. But even on a 6, the offer is genuine with what she's saying. But hard to tell if she would be easier to, lie to or persuade or sort of shower with any impressive performance, as it were.
Okay.
So up to you how you want to hit this, because the different charisma skills have different DCs for improving relations with different ambassadors.
So like narratively, what am I like trying to do here? Am I trying to like convince her that I'm like worthy of her like people?
Yeah, because if you improve your relations with someone all the way up, it becomes way cheaper to hire units from other countries, because people that come to you, like units that just like arrive at your keep, are much like lower. They're kind of like normal units. But if you buy units from somewhere else, they will be like elite special units of soldiers.
Okay. All right. So, oh boy. I'm just trying to figure out how I would RP what I want to do, because I want to roll deception because
Intimidate the fuck out of her.
I have
Yeah.
+10 to deception.
Sure.
Fuck ton of
I
gold.
mean, if you're going with deception, it doesn't have to be like a one-on-one like conversation. This is more like, what are you gonna do over the course of like a month or so to like try and trick her into being like, yeah, you can definitely trust me. And you should absolutely give me these soldiers. Although I will give this to you for free. She is also a pretty sneaky person, so like deception
It'll have to
would
be
be
really high roll.
it would be pretty difficult.
The thing is, I don't really want, so that I gravitated towards that because I have a +10, but I don't really want to like deceive this person, because I feel like I already like we can kind of, we're both Genasi, so
We have a connection.
I feel like we have a connection. Yeah, there's that like kind of camaraderie that's inherently already there. So I don't want to like immediately be like, haha, I'm fooling you. So what did you say the other options were? Sorry.
It's basically any of your charisma skills are going to be what you will use for these pretty much any interfacing with ambassadors is going to be charisma based, because you're either trying to like win them to your side or try and like trick them into supporting you, that kind of stuff.
All right. So I'm gonna use persuasion instead, and put my acting hat on.
Like assist.
So would I like assist for acting?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be a tree or something in the background.
It also doesn't have to be a one-off scene. You can also just tell me what you do over the course of this time.
Mm-hmm.
To win her over or attempt to.
So basically I just want to be like, we can really make this work if we work together. You and me, we're not so different. A little bit of air, a little bit of fire. Like, I feel like we can mesh.
Yeah.
You scratch my back, maybe I'll scratch yours someday down the road.
A flame goes out if there is no oxygen, and it is well known. Except for mine. Mine burns eternally. So long as I breathe. Right. Interesting. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
A 12.
A 12 will do it. For persuasion is just a 10. So with that, you spend some time talking with Ambassador Flamenhar, who, after a little while, she says, "You can just call me Yenna." You have improved your relationship with Zanstrines. Their attitude goes up to the next tier with you, making it much cheaper to purchase units from them.
Cool.
Don't believe I have that up. Yep, no, I do. Right here. So you have Zanstrines was neutral for you. They are now friendly for Zephyrus. And for Zanstrines, for reference, they have they're well known for their cavalry units and their aerial units because they're very fast. They're a country that is much more like sort of flamboyant. So they have very fast cavalry and they have very fancy like sky ships that are like racing sloops, which was the Azure that you guys actually flew on was like a racing like schooner basically. But yeah, you have it's not on the chart because I didn't fill it out entirely, but they have special or like elite, basically cavalry and aerial units that are available from her or through Zanstrines for that.
Where's that graph or that chart thing that you're looking at?
So that is on the strongholds and followers tables, which the link is in the links and resources. Excuse me. Nope, it's in Castle Elm Hollow, one of the pinned. There
it is. Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
Class followers tables. Attitude chart is the first one. Bam. F. Friendly.
Got it.
Awesome.
Okay, cool.
So you've got Ambassador Flamenhair on your side. Rock, you wanted to do some conversations with some of these folks that you had talked to before, potentially bringing the rest of the Cluehbridge Six with you for these conversations?
Yeah, totally. I think that'd be good. I think I also want to try to have a conversation with
Yep.
I need to pull up the. I keep forgetting
The person with the face.
the title. Yeah. The steward. I feel like it might be fun.
Oh, Juniper?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So you send I guess how do you contact your sister to have them come along? They're a traveling artificer, so sometime you reach out to them and they make their way there. Who do we see arriving at Castle Elm Hollow? Sort of like coming up to the front gates.
So this is Juniper Turin, who is my younger sister. I think overall we probably look pretty similar, and like I think this is probably the sibling I was closest with. My brain says like that we were probably born really close together in time, so we just like grew up really close. Um, and I have her as like I think she's probably more like free spirited, more like chaotic, like uh
The exact
yeah.
type of
just
person that
like
you want to be running a castle when you're away.
yeah. A little more wild, but like with good intentions, and like I think it's the kind of thing that's like I don't know if it's like I know you're going to make good decisions, and I know that you're
What
going to
could go
make the
wrong?
decision that I would make if I was away, but I don't know that I want you to be in charge all the time kind of person.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So Juniper Turin shows up one day, is an artificer, so like comes up in this weird like arcane carriage thing, which has like this mechanical looking sort of like horse like unicorn that's pulling it. And she's like kind of like brings it up, brings it in, and is like, oh yeah, this is my Steel Defender, Spiny. It's so good to see you, Sibden, though. Rooney, look at
Oh
you in
my
all the
gosh.
fancy clothes. Nice
I
digs.
know. Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. I know. See, I can never tell if you're giving me a hard time or not, and you know this. Freaking
Of course.
Judy, it's good to have you here.
Why would I give you a hard time? I mean, you just went from, fancy old mage to becoming a fancy old whatever this is, and here am I get a letter in the mail. I'm in the middle of forging, and it says, hey, come work at a castle, but not actually work doing honest work with my hands. I gotta be glad
Hmm.
handing and ordering people around.
You can
Twist
still use
my
your
arm.
hands.
I certainly will. I mean, that blacksmith over there, he's got a shit structure with his crucible is all wrong. That's a terrible anvil. Anyways, you wanted me to do something? Show me what's going on.
Yeah, just, let's take a look around first.
All right, let's take a look around. Sure. So Junie follows you around. She's very impressed by the construction of the place. Very quickly realizes like, oh, magecraft stone. This is quite impressive. Um, you eventually bring her up to speed. Uh, how much does Juniper know about your connection with the Harpers?
Um, I think that Judy probably has like an inkling just based on like I don't know that Rock's ever said anything. Like I think he keeps
Mhm.
that pretty close to the chest, but that they've known each other long enough that it's like I know that there's something happening, and I know you'll tell me when the time is right, kind of thing.
Awesome. Sweet. So you do see at one point that you're going through and like Grog is there and he has the big arm that's been like replaced with a prosthetic. And she kind of looks and she's like, is that I saw his picture in the broadsheets. That's like one of the Cluebridge Six. And he's got an
Yeah,
arm for just like that's not one that any of us have made. I mean, my guild, that's
Yeah,
you're getting into some. Am I
there's some.
safe here? Like, is
Nah,
this?
you're in danger.
It's so you see.
Yeah, I
That's
do.
always a good
I
sign.
do see. I do see a Goliath with an arm that is not something that I made. How that's better articulation than anyone that I know can even make. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's I was doing a lot of meditating, connecting with some essences while he
Okay.
was getting the arm. So I don't know the specifics of the arm, but like he's a cool dude. Everyone here is nice and good, and like no danger here except for like external danger maybe coming here. But
Right.
like
Yeah. Because you got the
yeah,
wastes, like a couple. Wow. So when you're gone, I have to be in charge of.
You've been
He
marked.
starts to just like sweat a little bit as it's like, wait a minute. Oh no. But
okay,
Judy
wait,
eventually is like,
wait.
all right. You know what? I might as well. I was only a journeyman in the guild, and if worse comes to it, I got a sending stone. I can contact the guild over in Darfeldur, and I should probably get one for you, I guess, my first order of business, so that if you're somewhere, you can
Yeah.
tell me, or I'll tell you if we're being invaded by dragons or rats.
Yeah.
Like
That'd be good.
what is the point where I tell you that something is bad, like on a scale of like dragon to like a bunch of spiders? I mean, these soldiers can probably kill the spiders, but
Yeah. Yeah. I think like if you're concerned, let me know. If you feel like you got it, maybe like still let me know also.
okay.
Like here's the thing. So like I you know that we like our connection is good and I trust you to make a decision that I would make. Like I feel like we're on the same page about a lot of stuff all the time.
Of course. Yes.
And
I
like
mean,
I don't want you to stop the work that you're doing because you're doing a lot of really important stuff and like part of the reason that I chose you is because you're an artificer. You know that I don't have those kind of skills happening. So
mhm.
like I feel like with our, just the stuff that we got going on, being raised together, I think it's good.
Yeah.
And just like keep me informed. I always got your back. Now you always got mine. It's like it's all good.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all
We
good.
always
None
figure it
of
out.
you're not bringing in any of the others, right? Because they're all just a bunch of snobs now. Like the
Yeah, I
olders, it's
mean,
like,
yeah.
yeah.
We always knew that we were the cool ones, like we were the chill, the good
Yeah,
ones, and there's
we
a
were
lot
the
of
cool
us, but
ones.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
The other, I don't know. Tubin could, nah, fuck it. Don't actually. You know, it would actually be really great. Just don't tell anyone else, and just let them find out and see who shows up to like
yeah,
be like, oh, you're famous now, and oh, that'll be
yeah,
great. That'll be really fun if I'm the one here and they find me. Ooh, you know
yeah.
what? I'm in. I'm in.
Nice.
I,
It'll be Tubin and Ruben first. They were always getting
yeah,
into trouble.
yeah. I mean, they were troublemakers. I wouldn't let them anywhere near that vault of yours because that would be bad. Um,
Yeah,
that moss though, interesting.
Yeah, Mossfront.
Uh,
like basically
very,
my best friend now.
yeah, really interesting. I mean, not so much of an alchemist, but interesting nonetheless. And you guys inhaled it. Uh,
Yeah,
a bold move to be
yeah,
sure. Interesting. Well,
yeah.
never
You should
change.
ask Grog about that.
I
Ah,
Oh,
I will. He's very large, and I'm afraid of him.
mm,
And do you want to go a ride on my Steel Defender? Check out your lands.
yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah!
that would be
Great.
awesome.
You hop on the saddle of a mechanical unicorn and ride around your lands with your new steward, Juniper Turin,
Spectacular.
who never gives you the honorific, even in the company that you should. Always just calls you
Of course
Rooney.
not.
A lot of the other servants that you've hired are kind of like, okay, but yeah. Uh, eventually, uh, Junie gets up to speed and becomes your solid right hand to the liege Turin. Um, and that sort of happens in sort of like the first month that you guys are there. And Steris, who had come to sort of inform you that you needed to have some of this like very standardized things put together, takes that information back to the capital of Kiro, and you are now like officially fully enrolled with your castle and your noble house being folded into the Eushanian nobility. So, you are a very minor house, truly the lowest of the low, which is partly why you got the singular message from only one nearby noble, who was Lady Kindleaf. Um, Go ahead and give me, anybody who wants to, a history check. Um, on these guys actually for the
Oh my god, it's a
kindlies.
nat
Rough. That's a
20.
nat 1.
I
Wow.
got a 21, baby.
Hell yeah.
I got
Wow.
a
Okay.
7.
Okay.
I
That's
got a
good.
nat 1.
Wow.
R.I.P.
I'm sorry, what am I rolling for?
So this is sort of this will be like general history of the folks that have reached out to you, but mainly the kindleaf. But with a nat 20, whoa baby, I gotta honor that with a 5.
Hey,
I mean,
don't worry, guys. I
in
showed up.
in the canon, it honestly kind of makes sense that Grog, being a soldier who's like traveled around as a mercenary for the last like 25 years, that you would know probably not so much of the rock biters. You would just know that, like, okay, dwarven clan, pretty standard, that they kind of keep to themselves. You met a lot of dwarves in the spine because they would be one of the main traders. Like, you'd go down to the foothills, trade with the dwarves in their mines or whatever. It's where you got a lot of like the steel and forged stuff, because your clan's being sort of transient. That's where you get all the forged like steel and all of that. You've heard of the kindlies because they are like a long line of uh, sort of like humans and half elves who have come from sort of like a high elven line. Like the kindleaf are, it's the common name of like their elven name that has just been like a long family. The kindleafs have always been like very pious and very generous followers of Coralon, one of the elven gods of like knowledge and magic. So they're like very into like the arcane and the divine magic, the symbiosis of like magic and the material world, like harmony and justice. And they're just very like sort of just like a golden, sort of like almost like a paragon of like good and kind and just rulers. Um, in Ushane, they're like this old house, very established. But the Malice, who are the other house, I will say on a natural 20, you have some knowledge of that. It's another half elven house, also from like high elves. but they are almost exclusively like sorcerers. Which the letter from Lord Draven Malas is one of that. And they were one of the ones who, when you were basically with Lashana's Legion and afterwards, any time that you needed to get like resupplied in Illafria, you were like you were told to like actively avoid interacting with Malice and any of their soldiers, because of your association with the Empire. Malice and Black Rose Tower, to the Malice family and Black Rose Tower are basically like two things that are just absolute poison to be associated with, in general. It's thought to be a tyrant is a kind word for them.
Solid.
Yeah. So Malice, someone that you don't want to be friends with, and apparently does not want to be friends with you, because apparently Camilla, who kept her background secret from the prince long enough to deceive him, was apparently Draven Malice's daughter. So,
I knew she was bad business. I'm telling you now, I fucking called it. She was bad news bears.
Wait, who are you talking about? That was his daughter? Say that again.
Camilla, the woman who tricked the prince.
Oh, that fiend.
Yeah, she is a fiend.
Who turned into a fiend. Yes,
she's evil.
The very same.
Evil.
Yeah. So on a natural 20, that is sort of the like learned history that Grog has from his time kind of traveling around in the southern part of the continent, through those various lands and his time. I think the rest of you, it's so esoteric, for like noble houses and like history of nobility. It's just not something that living in the woods or being with like the Harpers, politicking of like old houses is not as important as like, hey, I'm just like doing my little like espionage stuff. I'm trying to uncover corruption. There's no corruption with like this pious elven, like half elven house that's like super, super nice. And if there's someone who's just like known to be a tyrant, okay.
That's fine.
No reason for that. I think Zephyrus truly just like, you were sailing for the last however many years. It's just like, Ushane, I mean, I got like friends who sailed out of Cairo.
Just on
Other
my
than
boat,
that,
bro.
I got fucking nothing.
Yeah, so I'll give him a quick synopsis of the political climate, southern region.
Yeah, Eastern Ushane. Yeah. So those are the sort of like three big political things that you've got going on in this region currently. Did with all of that kind of known, is there anything you guys wanted to do, either sort of like diplomacy or espionage wise, or any other kind of thing with interacting with any of these other folks? No, there was something about fixing the teleportation potentially.
Doesn't have to be what we do next because I've already done something. But I love the idea of being the spy master.
Oh, hell yeah.
That sounds really cool. And I feel like it fits with what me being.
Yeah, if y'all are looking for like a master of war, I got it.
Yeah, Secretary of Defense, Grog.
Yeah. That's me, baby. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Sure. Azealia, what is your role in the castle with your grove?
My name
Okay,
Jeff.
so I've been working on something for a second.
Okay.
So I'm still looking at pictures. But I've written a document.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
Hell yeah.
god.
I will read now, I suppose.
Sure.
And
It's not 100% finished, but okay,
Do
so
we have a constitution?
Druid Grove. No, the Druid Grove. I know this is like an official thing in D&D or whatever, but I wanted to have lair effects. Do you know what I mean by that? I can explain.
Yes, you actually do have layer actions with your strongholds.
oh hell yeah.
Mhm.
What I wrote was, this is still very like, need to make it sound better, but I'll just read it for what it is. So Azealia, and it maybe not all of these things are like currently, but this is what I'm trying to like work towards. So Azealia is the keeper of the grove. She is able to heal plant life anywhere within the domain of the grove. She knows instantly when anyone enters the domain. She can speak to any animal in the territory as if they spoke her native tongue.
Oh.
Which I think makes sense anyway because she can. So like
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. So you do have the domain effect. One
Yeah.
of the three that immediately happens is that uh a lot or I shouldn't say a lot. There's a number of like birds and mammals that
Mhm.
once your druid grove is completed within the domain uh they just are able to speak common and elven
Yeah.
as one of the just regional effects. And within your druid grove, give me 1 second.
He's totally burping.
What did you say that Grog's and Zevirus's like roles were? You both just said them, and I immediately forgot the words.
Daniel said I could be the spy master.
I was gonna
I love
confuse
that.
Micah. I was gonna say Grog
wanna
is the
claim-
spy master.
Hey,
I speak
that would make
whispers.
sense.
Hey, I'm the little green guy from Mario.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
so funny.
What do you
What does
What do
Yoshi
you want your
say?
title to be, Grog?
Oh
Wah!
yes,
That's Wario.
I am Secretary of Defense, I think is what Daniel said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very like Master War type stuff.
Master of
That's all
War.
I know.
All I know.
You're basically like Ares,
Yeah, pretty much.
Just like it.
God of War.
Are we gonna vamp for the next few minutes? Man,
Sure.
this is really like taking a turn.
Why?
I thought,
What do you mean?
well, just like 2 weeks ago, I was like, damn, we're gonna just fight dragons and go into space, and here we are. Game of Thrones.
This is cool. I like this.
It's very cool.
This is difficult. Yeah. Seth, I have this stream up on my TV, so I'm like, that's why I keep looking up at my computer
Oh, that's
screen.
fine. That's cool.
What did you just switch to on the screen?
Oh, because I'm in a bunch of other Discords, so like I'm just clicking through notifications. Like I'll click
okay.
another one. It's just like other people's streams. So it looks really
Okay.
weird.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell? And it's also backwards.
Like, who is that?
What the fuck?
Yeah, right, exactly. That's what I wake up to every morning. It's just this guy. Backwards? It shouldn't be backwards.
Yeah, it is mirrored. Everything is mirrored.
Oh, yes, because I mirrored that just for like my lights and signs. Because like I typically don't show like our channels. So like if I open up, it will look backwards.
Okay.
Yeah. Forwards. Ah, shit.
Yeah, shit. Okay. I have
Cool.
quite a bit more to read if you guys want to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So go for it.
Okay. So lair effects of this grove make it different from just like a nice garden. This grove affects the surrounding region in the way that a lair of a legendary dragon would. It has
Okay.
regional effects for miles around. It seems to appeal and call to people and creatures of different natures, especially those with a strong connection to nature. So I just want like creatures and things to feel like this effect if they're like anywhere near it and just they are called to be there.
Yeah. We can
Visit a
definitely
princess.
Yeah, we could definitely have that be the second regional effect. There's up to 3
Okay.
that take place. So we can definitely say that that is your second one.
Cool.
Lots
And
of
then
lots of people start showing up.
yeah, in terms of it being like we talked about last time, and I put up a picture in the chat of it looking kind of like Winterfell. That's kind
Mm,
of like how I'm thinking of it, with the wood being like within the boundaries of the place, but I'm thinking like bigger woods than Winterfell looks, because Winterfell is really just about the God's Wood in the center, but
mhm.
this is more like it does have like one big tree in the middle, but it has just like more of a forest kind of around it.
You're
Yeah.
thinking
So you've got
like
like an
Tree of Life and
arboretum
Animal
basically
Kingdom?
going on within the
Yeah,
walls.
that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah. Sweet.
so these are just other things that are in there, and again, they don't have to be right now, but something that I'm working towards to be in there. I would like a treant to tend to the trees
Ooh,
and plants
Okay.
within the domain. I'd like that. So kind of a wish list.
I know a
Um,
couple.
you know a couple? You know a guy?
Yeah,
So
I
I would
do.
say that so a treant is actually something you could get as a special ally if you
Okay.
wanted to get the treant in there instead of Liana as a follower. I would allow
Mm-hmm.
that.
Would allow that? Hell yeah.
Seems beneficial.
Yeah.
Okay. And then just to describe, there's one large tree in the center of the wood, which the door to the underground keep is in. Um, which I would like to call the Sprite tree.
Okay. I mean, it's
Like,
your tree that you grow over the
yeah,
course of like 2 months.
there's just like little sprites that just live in the tree.
Aw.
Hell yeah.
It's cute. Um, and then this other asset, I would like to have like this is kind of grand, but I would like to have a waterfall that seems to just kind of like fall out of nowhere just into this pond that I would like to call the Pool of Clouds. Um and it has like a mirror like clarity of the sky and the clouds that float overhead. But even if it's overcast, the clouds and sky remain. So it's just always like a cloudy, sunny looking sky on the top of this pond. And I would also like it to function as a scrying pool.
Okay. I
That
think
makes
that's
sense.
something that we could implement if you upgrade it. It could
Mhm.
certainly start as just a
Yeah.
kind of like regular pool, but if
Mhm.
you want that to be part of like an upgrade to it and spend the money
Yeah.
to like go up to, I would say having it be a scrying pool would probably be like a third level thing
Mhm. Mhm.
for it, but
Okay. Yeah.
it could definitely be like, oh, once a whatever the like spell casting thing is, it could be a limited scrying
Okay.
to start. Like you could use
Yeah,
scrying
just
like
the
once a
territory,
season.
really. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Wouldn't be like
Grog also does have the domain effect that the let me just read it. So the Paladin's Chapel broadcasts the power of good and law across the countryside. Grog is instantly aware of the presence and location within the domain of any chaotic or evil creature with more than 7 hit dice.
Ho, 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 ho.
Um,
Baby.
which picked
Fucking
that
scary.
one as the first because it is rather relevant to being near the on the edge of the wastes. It seemed thematically relevant. With that, yeah.
Cool.
Your let's see. Yeah, so you've got this Druid Grove going on. Is there any sort of like title or role that Azealia takes on at the castle itself, or does she just spend most of her time in her grove, kind of doing her own thing?
She's just selfish as fuck. No, I think. Um, I mean, I don't like. Ada is a cleric, so I don't know if she would take on that role or not. But the Grove seems to also kind of be almost like a respite. So
Mhm.
if it was like a healing role that she has with the Grove, also like makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually some of the sort of like flavor text that I wrote for it is that you, as you're spending more time there, you seem to like draw a lot of people who have heard
Yeah.
that the what people start calling you like the stone armed druid,
Yep.
because you have this stone arm and people of the like
Yeah.
workers who get like injured or whatever because you just have magical healing properties, like someone
Mhm.
who like breaks their leg in a terrible like
Mhm.
accident, you can just immediately just fix it. Like
Oh,
no,
damn.
yeah, like no problem. These like commoners and just like regular workers, word start to spread, and so like
Great.
part of like very just a general thing that starts to happen is like healers and herbalists and like wise women and some like sages come to like talk with you about
Mhm.
like rare healing capabilities and people
Get
who are
yourself
like
a stone arm.
and so like people start to show up and they're like, oh, like we heard that the stone arm druid is here, can we
Oh,
like treat with her? And so you have
no.
this sort of like legendary,
Guys, I'm becoming Jesus.
yeah, a little bit of like there's like this mythos around you, and probably
Mhm.
like 1 in 10 of them recognize you. They're like, I saw you in the broadsheets, like you're one of the Cluebridge Six, and they get like a little freaked out. um but there's certainly a level of like there's like all of what you guys are hearing about, like especially Zephyrus in like your tavern, a lot of sky sailors come in and they're like dropping off people who have flown like super far, like they've come from like the halfling isles like across the continent to be like, oh, we heard like the stone arm druid can like heal any sickness or whatever, and people are starting
No.
to like
No.
people start to just show up and it's like, hey, can you heal this? And you're like, yeah, greater restoration, your disease is cured. um
Oh no.
so
Guys, I've gotten too big.
it's
Popular.
not
Too popular.
every day that it happens, but it's like people who have those sort of connections with like
Mm.
nature are able
Mhm.
to like sort of just like make their way there, and it's like,
Mm.
hey, yeah, like the like a bird told me to come here to like get the knowledge to like heal this weird sickness that's happening in my town. And this is effectively like you become the like person that these low level druid and other adventurers come to be like, hey, what's the MacGuffin that I need to heal this strange sickness? You're like, oh, you just need this like mushroom from a like from underneath a rock that a like cat has sat on under a full moon. And they're like, perfect, I got it. And then they like rush
Little
off
guy.
with this other their like other band of adventurers. um yeah, so that's sort of like your bag, what's going on with the grove as that expands. um awesome. Grog, you wanted to do some little solo thing
Hmm.
with that. You didn't end up doing it all together, but we can resolve it sort of in some like single rolls here
Sure.
if you wish.
Yeah.
Okay. So you wanted to at some point sort of like piece out with your hippogriff, your new special mount that appears, to go find some information regarding what?
Um, because we're so close to the spine and everything like that, I was gonna try and just get my bearings and see what's happening up like back home. But also the news of the fiends and stuff that Rock and I just heard about is also kind of interesting to me. And I feel like that should be kind of dealt with, or at least Grog would like want. He wants blood.
Sure.
So that would be.
I will say, for the sake of brevity, which one is more important for Grog?
I think going to the spine. He's got to just making sure that like either his people are there or because it's been so long since he's seen them, any like remnants of them, picking up tracks, see if his kids are alive.
Yes, for sure.
He's back on the material plane.
Yeah. So you one day saddle up with some supplies, put on a lighter suit of armor. It's Echo is sort of like a juvenile. He's not great at flying super far distances with you in like full like mail.
Sure.
So you put on some like lighter traveling gear and soar off towards the spine. You are making your way there, and with I think flying overhead, this is either going to be survival or perception. We'll say with advantage, because you're sort of like in your home territory. You know what to look for to find some other Goliaths.
The first one was a 10. Second one was 7.
Okay. With a 10, not not the first time that you've gotten a little bit not lost, but just like gotten to the point where you're like, I know what I should be finding when you're going to like these sheltered valleys where you're like, this is a perfect place to be like camp. Like I'm not in a box canyon. You get to these various plateaus and you're just like, fuck, there's no evidence of these people being here. But on a 10, you don't find a camp like that of them. Like you find, I think, what you recognize as like, yeah, there are Goliaths that have been traveling here and like through this region, but every time you like make camp and you go the next day and you're like, okay, if they're going this direction, whatever happens with the weather or the direction that you go, you can't seem to nail exactly where they are, but you do find evidence that like, yes, there is at least another tribe of Goliaths in the southern part of the spine that you're able to find evidence of. But finding the tribe themselves, it's a little bit of a, you're finding a, sort of needle in a haystack or like one person, or you're finding like a hiking like party in like, the Himalayas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So pretty tricky. And when you're trying to not be found,
true.
Yeah, you're trying to keep yourself, hidden from other things that try and eat you in the wilderness of the spine.
Can I stealthily, without being, if I'm in immediate danger, can I find the closest like peak of the spine and just touch down?
Yeah, pretty easy. There's probably one that's like the southernmost summit, one of the mountains, sort of unnamed. Mount Zizek is like the tallest mountain on Salandran, which is why it's like pretty famous. but you certainly do find sort of like the highest peak after a day or so of travel. I'm gonna roll just something real quick here. As you get up there, you see you reach the summit, and I presume you're looking for some place to sort of like pray or meditate to Atlas.
Yep.
So you get up there, and you do see like a cairn that has been like built with a sort of like the way that other people build cairns to Atlas, which is just a perfectly smooth or like as round as one can make it, like stone placed on top of like another cairn. So you recognize this as another place that other people have come to meditate. Either clerics or other paladins or followers of Atlas.
Okay, I'm gonna dismount Echo, and I don't know. He can like circle around if he's not like Shadow. It's not like he can fetch and back and bring.
Yeah, he's a little bit more of a wild animal.
Yeah, I figured. Okay. Are these like stat mountains, or is this like we're kind of low enough? Okay. I'm gonna take the great sword of sharpness from my back, plant it into the ground, and I'm gonna just assume of Atlas, center myself, and
okay, hell yeah,
if I can talk to him.
Sure. Go ahead and roll religion with advantage, or I would actually just whatever your spell casting is. So just like charisma with advantage. Just flat old charisma.
Oh yeah, that is a
19?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. You reach out to your deity who you swore this oath to, and the sky overhead, which looks like it should have not been like a little bit overcast, but you see a storm front very quickly roll in. Uh, Light snow begins to fall, but a face appears that dwarfs the clouds overhead. You feel this divine presence just envelop you, and the Father of Giants makes his divine presence known to you.
He's still like, hell yeah, it works, baby. Shit. Atlas, Father of Giants. I have come to lay my wife to rest. At least, the thought of my wife. I've returned to the spine. Her last known location to me. I need guidance on what to do.
Your wife was murdered by those who follow a false god. 2 of his followers, dark beings that fought by your side once, seek vengeance.
Breaking the fourth wall, is he telling me to seek vengeance, or are they seeking vengeance?
This is him telling you to seek vengeance.
Oh, I will fucking murder their shit, of course. Yeah, that's gonna happen for sure. Yeah. Would I have any? I know we kind of talked about it a little while ago, but would he have any recollection of like who they were? Because I know I had like the vision, but I don't think I they are.
Yes, you do know who both of them are. They are a brother and sister, twins, two half elves that they fought with you in the Legion. They were there for part of the battle.
Yep.
But after the battle, they sort of became incredibly ruthless in all of their dealings. It eventually left the sort of mercenary company because they had such a falling out with the rest of like the Legionnaires and went to pursue their own gains. But you know that they were former sort of like half elven nobility, and they had before the war happened, they had a family estate in the what is now the edge of the wastes on like the Dire Lands. And you heard from them one night actually that they according to their own stories around sort of like the campfire, that they fell into yes, Micah, that is correct.
Mm.
Love it when the note taker figures it out. Yeah, Micah, do you want to tell who those two people are?
Yeah, the twins who killed Grog's wife are Harinar and Hatha, the two kids who fell into the painting
That's what I thought.
way back when.
I had a fucking feeling, dude. I had a fucking feeling.
But they weren't kids.
No, it was in the past,
No.
remember?
That was over 100 years ago.
What? What? And we saved them.
Well,
yeah, Harinar and Hafnia.
Unknowingly, I would have killed them. Araxes would have absolutely fucking murked them if he knew that they were going to do ill will upon the world.
But
okay.
they were just two little kids. They fell through a painting.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Kids suck.
Don't have kids, they suck.
Don't have kids.
But yeah, you do have another flash of that vision of the two of them, Harinar with a bloody mace in his plate mail, standing on top of a pile of corpses. Hafnia standing in sort of like her leathers with these, what you know, she has like these sort of like psychic blades, somewhat like what you've seen in the past with Quill. Those of you guys that know, she has some like psychic abilities. Standing over just like corpses in this vision you have, and both of them have a glowing green eye, one on each side of their faces. Opposite sides.
Do you know of their location?
Go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, shit. Whoa.
And I will...
But Big Dad.
One is a 26.
Okay, what was the first one?
A 13.
A 13? Okay.
I'll take the 26 if you want.
So, 13.
Damn.
You ask that, and you feel your consciousness like hold in a way that like it's like, because he is a divinity, he's trying to show you something, but your mind just can't really take all of like the energy that he tries to channel. But it does give you the impression of like, from where you are, you felt your consciousness pulled, like you're on the spine and you just get pulled like east towards like the Dire Lands or the wastes.
Cool, 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 cool,
Back
cool,
in-
cool.
And you can make a history check if you wish.
Son of a bitch. I'm not good at that. I'm not good at. Oh my god, it's a 16. I'm great at it.
16. Decent, not
Hmm.
Not the best.
not an incredible role, but decent
Thanks.
enough that you would know they were from an area that used to be the wastes.
Mhm.
So you could presume if he's pulling you towards the waste, they are somewhere either in the wastes or in the Direlands.
Hmm. Let's go fuck him up.
One final question. Leave you.
Sure.
Oh, Father.
Dad.
Where of my kin? Where of my children?
No role necessary, I think, for this because this
Are
is
they
Atlas,
safe?
Father of Giants. You
They're dead
hear
too.
just kind of like this chuckle that is like the rolling of thunder. And he says, "Your offspring are safe. They travel the
Yes!
spine with a new tribe."
Fine.
That's fine.
That's all I needed. Be
They're alive,
gone,
that's
Father.
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Where the fuck are they? Probably not asked like that, but he would say, can you give me a little nudge in a certain direction there, pal?
Go ahead
Maybe
and give me another wisdom saving.
Maybe an address? Oh my god, that was
Zip
almost a nat 20.
code.
19, baby.
Roblox.
19. Truly one away, but I will give you that you are pulled northwards and you get a brief flash of a group of Goliaths making camp somewhere north of you as your consciousness is sort of like whipped out of your like body momentarily. You fly across mountaintops and then see for a flash what do your children look like?
Oh.
Well, they're probably
Ugly like me.
yeah. They probably do. They're
They're
two.
bald. They're both bald.
They're two. Shut up. Yes, they're bald. They're both twin boys.
Oh, so yeah, okay.
They are me. They are probably 13, 12. They're youngins. And they're just like, think of like the Then in Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Like
God.
just the like Northmen, like they're just in fucking fur coats and just trying to survive. They're pale. And you know, they're probably
They have this scoring in their face too.
yeah, absolutely. And they're probably, you know, they've probably delved into cannibalism. I don't know. Shit's rough up there. I don't know. We
Genre
don't.
parties.
Yeah, we don't really talk about that. Grog, just don't let him get. Okay. Anyway,
Yikes.
yikes. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
so you
it.
so you see the boys for just a flash. They're both, you know, sparring at the end of the day as you've like you know, you grew up doing the same thing. They're both just like sparring, wrestling, uh training because you got to be strong because the weak don't survive very long in the spine. Uh with that, the Atlas's presence evaporates, the snow stops falling, the storm front above you dissipates to again just being sort of a gray, overcast day at the top of the mountains.
There's thing I'd
Okay.
back.
Mhm.
I'm gonna take off my bone made necklace.
Oh.
Cut out. No.
Oh God.
quick moment of silence for my waifu, and then leave.
Hell yeah. A very long moment of pure silence. The only noise around you is the wind and echo softly flapping overhead. Eventually lands, kind of thuds to the ground, scraping into the stone. Sort of like beak nuzzles you a little bit, sensing that your grief, before it fully overwhelms you, you have this divine mount that has been sent to take care of you as much as you take care of it.
Ugh. Ugh.
But
Gather myself, gather my things. Head back.
Sorry, whenever you're doing that, a bunch of hearts are animating out of your eyes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
I think it's a Twitch. I think it's a Twitch thing. It's got to be a Twitch thing.
That's perfect.
No.
That's perfect.
Wow.
But yeah, he's gonna gather
Let's
himself.
go like this. Let's go like this.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be an OBS or a Twitch thing. That's why.
Maybe. Kyle says I didn't do it. But yeah, he's gonna gather himself and gather his things. He's gonna hop back on Echo, give him a whistle to come back, and head back.
Hell yeah.
He's got kind of a next.
Sweet. Cool. Any other things that you guys want to hit before we wrap up?
Killed.
Okay.
Rocks fall. Everybody
Rocks
dies.
fall. Yep. Atlas comes to Earth.
But I'm so small.
But I'm so small.
Oh,
Cool. I will ask you guys this: where, on just like a weeknight, when you guys go somewhere to like hang out all together, once your strongholds have all been completed, where do you guys usually just like hang out to sort of like take a breather from your responsibilities at the end of the night to wind down after a week of work, of your various duties?
Individually or collectively?
Collectively, like when you guys finally are like, hey, we got to get the party together to
At
like
my tavern? Question
chill
mark?
out.
You have to assemble the
At
team.
my Druid Grove underground? Question mark. Is there not just like a great hall in the middle?
Oh yeah, that's literally like you host dignitaries and stuff in like the great hall of the castle for sure.
Seems too
Or like
unrelated.
a common room, like a lounge, like
Like
there's a big
library
fireplace
/
somewhere,
lounge.
and
Yeah.
there's like
Maybe
beanbag
we've got
chairs.
yeah. Maybe we've got a space that's just like for us.
Hell yeah.
What about the like
Oh.
dungeon space that was just kind of like nothing was down there, like where the vault is.
Hell yeah! Let's hang down.
Yeah,
right
and the
there.
mushrooms down there.
Yeah. Hell
Our
yeah.
little cave.
Awesome. So
Our little
each of you,
adventurer's cave.
yeah. So you guys have like crafted, or like you've like carved out the what used to be a dungeon into just like your crash pad for the various folks who, although you have your own like quarters or full on like towers which have all of your own things there, you have this common space. There's like Azalea's hammock is there, various beanbag chairs and throw cushions. It's very cozy. It's just like the perfect spot for you guys to just like to get away from all the crazy responsibilities that you now have. um you are just like in this space hanging out. Ross the Moss is there. He's great. He's happy to just like talk about mycelium and how cool it is to like interact with gold for the first time. You've got some weird like sentient gold growing as well in your vault now. And
Wait, what?
Wait, Daniel.
Hmm?
So
What?
I don't have the mage girl anymore, but I have the treant. Can we
You
make
do,
a
yeah.
treant?
So a treant is like 20 feet tall.
Okay.
And special allies are ones that will just kind of do their own thing. You can't really
Okay,
command
gotcha.
them.
Okay.
The
What does he
treant
sound
did
like?
the
Talk?
treant well, it only speaks in Sylvan.
Ah.
And
Which
so
I
I
can.
mean, but it's very like sort of classic treant. It's just like, yes, Azilia. I am tending to the lanterns
Oh, I am
above
Groot.
yeah. So it's like really big, like you're waiting like a solid minute for one sentence to get out.
Okay.
Which, patience is a virtue for the wise druids of
But I can also
Salandrin.
just like touch him and hear his thoughts. So
Yeah, so you do have the like speak with plants where you just like
yeah.
mind meld and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
this is faster. Let's just send impressions of thoughts and this will just
Right.
be way, way quicker. Perfect. Yeah. Uh, you eventually figure that out after like 2 weeks of just like, this isn't fucking working. You spent too much time with city folk that you're like, suddenly I know what impatience is. Everything in the forest moves so slowly when you're an elf,
Yeah.
and you're just like, what do you, what do you mean it's gonna take like more than a day to get this thing done? No, it's impossible.
Kyle says wave a torch in its face and tell it to hurry up.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah, for sure. That would
Okay,
go
so back to
poorly.
Rostos.
Yes. So you've got, Rostamos in the vault, but the rest of you guys are just hanging out for this one evening. Um, Zephyrus probably shows up with a shipment of like fancy drinks from one of their ships that, the ships that dropped
Classic.
off something at the like at the tavern. Um, this like just like a cozy night where you guys are all just hanging out. That is somewhat interrupted because Grog, as you are sitting there, you feel your domain sense kick in.
Intruder
From
alert! Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Avengers assemble! Sorry.
from the from both the northeast towards the Direlands and to the southwest towards um, Elm Hollow. 2 directions. And that's where we'll pick up next session.
Oh boy. Music finished exactly perfect.
Damn. It's done that like a handful of times and
I love it.
I love it. And it kicked into that dramatic music and I was like, it's perfect. Perfect for this ending. Yeah. So something is about to kick off. And this is where those units will come into play. Yeah. So that is all she wrote for tonight. Good stuff. Oh yes, we've got the long sword of sharpness.
I was swinging my sword.
Oh, the long sword of sharpness.
Yeah,
Or
it's
great
actually
sword.
it's a
I think it's a great sword.
It's a great sword.
Yeah, that was
Do you
it.
want?
But
Do you
of
want to?
It's a pretty
sharpness?
great sword.
Do you want to hear the description of this sword?
Yeah, it's on the
Hey,
back of the
beautiful
card
sword.
too.
Here, I'll read you the description. Okay. It
Can you do an
says,
impression of Trump while you
My great
Sorry.
sword of sharpness.
That's not
Careful.
Trump at all.
It's pointy.
when you attack,
Sharpness. We've got the perfect swords here, folks. Let me tell you.
Only the
swords
best of swords.
so sharp.
So sharp, so pointy.
he says That'll be next time. When you attack an
Oh, the
object
pointy end.
with a magic sword, hit.
You gotta talk into the mic, bud.
Oh, you can't hear me? That sucks. Okay. When you attack an object with this magic sword and hit, maximize your weapon damage dice against the target. When you attack a creature with this weapon and roll a 20 on the attack roll, that target takes an extra 14 slashing damage. Then you roll another d20. If you roll a 20, you lop off one of the target's limbs.
La, 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 la.
Uh-oh.
Holy shit.
What? Yeah.
Any target?
Just the target that I was attacking. If the creature has no limb to sever, you lop off a portion of its body instead.
Potato.
In addition, you can speak the sword's command word to cause the blade to shed bright light. And then speaking the command word again, or sheathing the sword puts the light out. So go gadget, flashlight.
Wow.
Flame bringer.
Yes, we got a flame tongue and a long sword of sharpness. So we
Great
got
sword.
2 big old illumination deals
Oh man.
going on. And that's what Grog traded for a bunch of his stuff made by a Fey Smith. Which that
my
one
arm.
similarly to Azilia's Feyrot sphere or Feyrot spear that she has. That will also do an extra d6 of damage to fiends, celestials, and undead.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
Celestials? Oh, fuck.
Yep, because it's made by a Fey. So,
Mm.
other extra planar creatures, they don't like that feel of Feyrot steel. Awesome.
Imagine.
Yeah. Cool, gang.
Go.
Was there any other things that we wanted to do, like in canon, or otherwise? If there is stuff, we can always just do it in your text channels. Otherwise, we'll call it for tonight.
I think I want to try to like commune with the weave again, but we can do that in the chat.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That's absolutely what Brock's Sanctum channel is for.
I'd also like to
Also-
gather. Oh, go ahead.
Thanks for the patch and the stickers, Daniel.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. You're welcome.
Okay, can I open that?
My dice
Yeah.
tray.
Wasn't sure if I could.
Yes,
it.
I
didn't
love
know-
it. Look at this. It's backwards.
Oh, that looks sick.
Oh,
Wow.
that's so cool.
Yes, please open it. I should have
Okay.
specified.
I was gonna bring it up,
Yes.
but I was like, I don't know if other people like got something or if it was different. I just like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my bit of housekeeping is when you put the sticker on, whatever, take a picture and tag the creator. I will send them so that they more people can see them on Instagram because I love their
Cool,
store.
cool.
And I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
really glad that I was able to finally support them and get
Aw.
them get some of their stuff.
Is this just an online creator that you discovered somehow?
Yeah, that was an Etsy shop that they had a bunch of D&D
Oh.
stuff, and that one felt more appropriate than just the Zephyrus rogue one. Yeah, tried to find some stuff that was a little bit more bespoke. And Grog seemed solid because I know that Seth likes to roll his physical dice.
I do.
So, God, after using
Daniel,
or not using a dice tray, I was just like, yeah, especially with a small space. What's up, Haley?
can you send me everybody's mailing addresses, please?
Yes,
Thank
can.
you.
Guys, the first dice roll on the new dice
Really
tray.
need Seth, but
Let's hear it.
Oh my
All right.
god, it's a nat 20. Oh my
shit.
god. Oh my god, there it is. There it is.
so
Oh my
Blessed.
god.
I literally right before
Blessed.
you said something about somebody said something about the tray and the patches and stuff. I did the exact same thing. I also got a 20.
Yes!
I'm not even making that up.
Yes!
All right, let's
so
see.
weird.
We're amazing.
A 19. Fuck.
Ah!
Oh,
+1 with your modifier.
Yeah,
Right.
for real. As a
You get a
GM, I
+2
get
for both of them
+1
rolling a
to.
20.
Actually, I get +1 to everything. Incredible. Yes. That creator is great. I have a bunch of the stickers. I got 2 packs actually, and I gave the other half of the sets to my other table that I play with. So I just have yeah.
Oh wow, cool.
Another insane.
Oh, so there's another table, huh?
Yeah, there is.
What's
if you
her
can
name,
believe it.
Daniel?
Well, their names are all they're all dudes. So
What are their names, Daniel? You
one
whore.
There's so there's Jake and Jacob and Dylan and Ham.
Oh.
I like all of them.
Yeah, they're pretty solid dudes. And I might
nice
die
guys.
in a TPK next week.
Hey,
God,
love it.
Oh, we might too.
Yeah, depending on how Daniel feels after that session, we may also die.
Oh no, I'm excited to throw some higher CR demons at you.
Oh fuck.
Challenge
That's what I'm
accepted.
excited about. Oh come on, you did you. I telegraphed that to hell and back.
Yeah, I have faith in us.
Oh no. I'm scared.
I have faith. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
Azealia
I'm
would
gonna go
also
to bed.
like to stock the library with books because she still wants to learn languages.
How to read?
She did have that
Oh.
initiative at one point.
Oh yeah.
And
If
she's
that's
still
something you want to do in your downtime, we can
Yeah.
for sure do some rolls to see if you learn
Yeah.
some stuff. You're gonna
Okay,
head out, Hallie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm tired.
Solid.
And then
TTFN. Ta-ta for now.
All right.
This is fun. I'm excited
Bye.
about this blue stuff. This is
Yeah.
fun. Okay.
For sure.
Bye. Good night.
See ya.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
the next week thing, it will be sort of a hot start, with all of you in the castle.
No prep time?
and-
Oh no.
Yeah,
go.
she and I are figuring out stuff off screen that's happening with Ada, and it'll sort of just be like retroactive, whatever she wants to do with the strongholds and followers. Because I think she's just been busy, and yeah. So she and I are resolving her Feywild arc via text off screen. We will inform everyone when she gets back and all that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh. I'm
Yeah,
magic.
it's gotta be a filter because of Twitch or
I
something. I don't know.
have done nothing.
Wait, do that again.
That was a thumbs up, I think.
Thumbs up.
Oh look, I'm doing
Two.
the thumbs.
Do 2 of them.
That's almost better.
Damn.
Make sure to follow on the Twitch and the YouTube. Like, subscribe, smash that bell icon for more tips and tricks on how to be a better D&D player.
Now just do 1 peace sign. Should work. Seth just recently figured out that he's double jointed as well.
Oh. See the fork? What was that?
Oh, that was me. I
Oh.
have like a little a weird icon.
I was like, what
Yeah,
the
those
fuck
are-
is that?
Why is your head so funny?
Oh, but wait, I can
Kyle-
do the nat 20.
Kyle said, he says, now rub your belly, pat your head. I will not do that. Rub
Because you're
belly.
scared?
Oh my gosh.
See,
okay.
I'm rubbing and patting my head at the same time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. I don't think I have any other housekeeping. If you got other thoughts for stronghold stuff, keep it in your Grove channel, or your tavern or sanctum or whatever, so that everything kind of stays in there.
Solid.
and we're not trying to track down various things. Cool. And I will make a note that you have a treant now that hangs out in the grove instead of Liana.
How tall is
which
it?
Totally fine.
20 feet.
Oh,
I just
Yeah.
feel like he needed to be there. I just felt weird without one. He just needs to be the guardian of the grove.
Cool.
Guardian of the grove. I like that.
my
Hell yeah.
treant's name
Guardian of
in
the
my
Grove.
kitty.
Yeah.
When I was
Okay,
doing the
if we're saying goodbye, we'll make sure that Oli gets a chance to.
Ollie.
Hello,
Ollie, we have
cat.
to say goodbye. So perfect.
He sat on my
looks-
lap, and like all the way on my lap instead of halfway on my lap for the first time.
Wow.
I
He
know.
looks so much like Fishtopher. I love him.
What do you
What?
think, BB?
My animals are gone.
Have you not seen Fishtopher?
No.
Oh my god. Just look him up. It's just he's the saddest, saddest cat, and I love him.
Is that the cat
my
that's like always
God.
frowning?
Yeah, it just looks sad, and I would die
So
for him.
sad.
Christopher?
I don't know.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Oh no, he's so
Never ever
sad.
be able to leave the house if I had that cat.
I know. He's just the sweetest. I'm gonna look him up now.
What a good boy. He doesn't always look that sad.
Yeah, but, but his first photo when he was in the shelter,
Oh,
he
He's
man.
just looks. He looks so sad.
I didn't want to cry tonight. God damn it.
I could Photoshop every cat's face at a humane society to look like that, and then people would adopt.
Those are all AI generated photos.
Grand scheme.
All right, gang. I'm probably gonna head out too.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
same time next week.
Same time next week, we'll be getting into combat. I might I might retcon that it's just from one direction so that you guys don't have to figure out where it's coming from.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah,
talking about the band.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna retcon it and say that it's just coming from the northeast.
Hmm.
Cool. Yeah.
Here's
So
the other
retcon.
kitty. I don't know if you've ever seen her.
Oh.
She's so upset.
Wow. She's vocal. She
She's
is
so
vocal.
got so mad so quick.
She doesn't love to be picked up. She doesn't
Wow.
love it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, she normally doesn't say anything. Normally it's Oli who's yelling all the time, but she'll tell you.
I love that.
All right. Have a good week, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye, friends.
You too, folks. Bye.
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 All right, now that they're gone, we can fucking talk mad shit about them. My God. Oh my gosh.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Well, that was a crazy fucking session. I know there wasn't a whole lot going on, but it's cool to at least have, and it's definitely something like I wouldn't classify that as like filler, but let's move right into the middle. Go. You know, it's definitely that like episode before the like mid-season finale. Like there's a lot of build up, there's stuff going on, there's downtime, and then it's boom, next thing. So, and that whole character piece with Grog was very cool. I've been thinking about doing that for a long time. Because, you know, it's been a little while and you can't do everything in a session that's you know, a little over 2.5 hours. So wanted to get that kind of resolved with my character. Yeah. So I'm really excited about next week to see who the fuck's coming at us. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty pumped to fucking kill the twins. Killed my waifu. That's exciting. And Kyle, you weren't here for it. But I played some Baldur's Gate yesterday. It's me. Oh well, shit. Maybe. I could definitely see you talking to Daniel off screen and saying, joining the game. And you're the big bad evil guy. That would be fucking crazy. That'd be wild. Anyway. I played some Baldur's Gate last night. What went down? So I cleared out that goblin dungeon. Where we had to rescue the druid. That took about 4 hours. I was able to sneak around and kind of take everybody out and not alert the entire castle. And then I went outside. And you remember the little owl bear baby thing? I couldn't remember if I had rescued that thing or not. And I went outside. Oh, I definitely did meet Mommy. She's divine. And then I found the Underdark, which I kind of left right there before this week stream. Because I was like, I don't know if I really have the energy to do this. So, that's what Wednesday is gonna look like. Checking out the Underdark and what's down there. I'm pumped. But yeah, all that combat, fucking exhausting. Where the goblin camp? I did. I went outside, killed every single person. Rescued everybody. I leveled up to level 5, so that was really helpful. Will now knows fucking completely and inside too. Yeah, I think so. I mean, before I go into the Underdark, I'm gonna just double, triple check everything. But I was able to get the key into that gold area room. I think the only place I actually didn't go and find was that fucking BDSM room that you were talking about last time. So I hope to find that. I mean, if I killed everyone, then it's probably gone. But I did kill everyone inside, and I killed everyone outside. I know that for a fact. Easily 50 enemies. Where did you find the entrance to the Underdark? In the back of the temple? Yes, you had to do that puzzle. Puzzle on the ground. There are several ways to get to the... Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I found this letter, which I actually ended up throwing away. And then there was a puzzle on the ground. So I had to YouTube the puzzle. Which that took... Really not that hard. That place where you fight the spiders underground with the big spider. Use Featherfall and jump into the chasm. Oh. Yes, I did kill all those spiders. Actually, originally I talked to them. And they were like, oh, we won't fight you. And then I got out of the dialogue and they fought me. So I think they lied. Not many people know about that. Yeah, I didn't know about that. Interesting. I'm gonna check that out tomorrow, I think. Big spider fight. Oh. I definitely didn't find a big spider. I found the large spiders under that little area. That makes me nervous. That makes me nervous. There's the... Maybe half of Act 1? Wow. So finish the Gorge questline. Okay, because the mission that I'm on is for the Night Song or something like that. So that's what I was doing. So you did fight the big spider, shark. Right? Oh, yes, yes. Did fight the. Oh, way over there. You can get to the Underdark from way over there? I didn't realize you could. The big blue one. So the night song, and then I got to do something with a GIF. You know, what the name thing is. The third entrance spell. God damn it. The Underdark's massive. Massive. Discord. Wow. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going to call it, I think, for tonight. And then Wednesday, we will pick up with Baldur's Gate again. So, thanks for coming and chilling out, as always. I made some clips from tonight's stream, and I'm going to upload those to TikTok and YouTube, I think, to kind of boost those social. But yeah, tune in Wednesday, 7 p.m.